Hi, and welcome to our podcast, Learning Leading Now, where we talk all things education and Mobile County Public Schools. I am one of your hosts, Renee Phillips, Director of Communication for the school system, joined by co-host today,
Sally Erickson, and I'm the Community Engagement Specialist.
And Sally brought us a special guest. Tell us who our guest is today.
This is Michelle Holloway, and we met when I went to Mobile County Training School where she works, and she was opening the new science lab.
Okay, so before we get started, one thing we like to talk about, I'm a parent of 2 middle school boys. You're a middle school teacher, so you're real familiar with that age group.
Yes.
Always an adventure.
Always an adventure. Every day is a fun day.
At home too. And so we have roots in this community. We're parents. Sally is a parent of 2 graduates.
Thank goodness they're graduates, but yes, and I went to Murphy High School.
Yes.
And so tell us, you have quite a history in Mobile and in Mobile County Public Schools.
Yes. So I am married to a Holloway, and their family also is the Gailliard. So it goes really, really, really deep, and it all ties back into county. So it starts off with Susie Gailliard, that was one of the first African-American teachers at Davidson High School. And then her husband, Willie O. Gailliard, he was also one of the first African-American administrators. Then they had 8 girls. 8 girls. So my husband is the son of the 5th girl. The 5th girl and all of the rest of the girls are also descendants of the Clotilda. So we're all related to the Green family that came from the last slave ship, which comes full circle because every sister went there, and then now I teach there. And it's just crazy how that all just kind of came full circle with all of us. And his grandmother taught there too. She was the foreign language teacher at Mobile County Training School when it was a high school. So to me, it's kind of inspirational. And like, I feel like I have to succeed there because my roots are there. Like, that school means a lot to me, not just because of the children that I educate, but I'm in a place where I feel I belong. My ancestors were there, so I have to make them proud. That's my goal.
So when we say vested, you are vested.
Yeah.
Well, and this is such a special time with your school, and just to see the way things are coming together with the world discovering the Clotilda and learning more about the history.
Yes, and the Heritage House, which is gorgeous. An outdoor classroom is coming. It's just so much, and it's very, like, I get chills thinking about it because it's a point now where it's going to keep going. It usually, they come in with the cape and they come save us, and then they feel like we're saved and they leave us. But this is an ongoing thing. They're not going anywhere. They're vested as much as we are. So it's really exciting.
Well, and speaking of vested, one of the things that I was so excited to hear about was just not only do you have the new science lab that you were helping get situated and everything, but they are, the people who helped you with the science lab are very vested in that project as well. So you were saying that they not only set it up for you, but they were bringing back some replacement plants and working with you to
They brought me fish.
It.
They said they were really looking into sending me somewhere where an aquaponics garden is already functioning and worked into the curriculum so I can see it in action. I talk to them at least once a week.
So let's rewind because our listeners may not be familiar because we're talking about 2 different things. So we've got the Clotilda and the history of Africa Town, which we'll get to in a minute. But Sally's asking you about this great opportunity that you have with Birmingham Southern because they came in and how did that start? Like, what is that project?
Well, Miss Cleveland that works at the school, Monica Cleveland, she got in touch with them, and she said this was a big grant to get a lot of African-American children interested into the STEM program, get them more involved. And, Mr. Patterson, he just had a lot going on, and he said, Miss Cleveland, if you want it, go for it. And she did, and then she brought me in. And meeting Birmingham Southern College, they not only invested themselves, but they also found community partners, like the chess club, like the Africa Town community, and all kind of other community leaders, pastors. It's endless, the people that got involved. And they don't just come by when something big is happening. They come by weekly, sometimes even more frequently if we need them. And all we have to do is literally pick up the phone and call. And they will fly here or drive here from Birmingham. And then one of the ladies who is also heading it, she just got a new position at Montevallo. So she's vested there too. So we just got everything with both of them. Everybody is involved and want to be involved for an extended period of time, not just now because it's hot.
Well, and can you also tell people who may not be familiar with the term what aquaponics means exactly and how it works in the classroom?
Okay. So I had to research myself because, I was kind of like, who knows about this? Everybody knows about hydroponics, but you don't hear a lot about aquaponics. So you bring those two together, which is you bring fish and plants together. So
I didn't know there was a difference.
Yes.
So aquaponics is the fish?
The agriculture.
Oh, okay.
The fish and the hydroponics working together, because
Okay.
that's really agriculture, which is when we talk about the fish, and then when we talk about hydroponics, that's our plants. But when we put them together, it becomes aquaponics.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I felt really smart when I figured that out.
I feel smart now.
Right, exactly. So we merged the two. The plants give off certain chemicals and nutrients that the plants need, and the plants and the fish return give the same nutrients to the plants, and it's like a whole ecosystem inside the classroom. And what I love about it is this one is like a big one. This is like our Range Rover, but we have also a mini one that we built. Actually, Mark Mead from BSC, he built out of PVC pipe. So this is something that you could actually do in your own home. You really could, and we're trying to expand to maybe next year to even start breeding our own fish
So you started this with Birmingham Southern on your campus.
on my campus.
So what does it look like?
It's in the lab, like we have two labs. One is like, your regular science lab where we do all the science experience and everything. Then on the other side is the aquaponics. The wall when you first walk in is it's 3 media beds. That's where one has little styrofoam squares, and you stick the plants in there. The roots have to be touching the water. Then the middle, it has clay pebbles. It works like soil. So those plants that kind of grow tall, you have to put in the clay bed so the roots will have something to grip onto. So we have 2 of those, and you have this big old tank that is now housing 77 tilapias, and they're still living, and they're big. They started off like tadpole size. Now they're like the size of a toad.
It's about an inch or so for our listeners, and now they're
Yes.
3 inches or so.
Yes, they're about actually, I give them about 4.
4 inches.
They're about 4 inches now.
That's great.
I've had to upgrade because their food comes in stages. The little itty bitty pebbles when they're tiny, then 2, then 3, then the real big ones when they get really big is 4.
I got to ask, what about on the weekends?
On the weekends, I was blessed to get this big functioning system on its own, automated feeder.
Oh,
I have a light that works on a timer.
that's fantastic.
It is amazing. Only thing that I had to come during Mardi Gras break.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just the weekend, it was a whole week. So I had to come back up and fill the middle part with a little bit of water because evaporation, it happens.
And kids can't take these home. I know I love going to Eichhold Mertz because they have all the bunnies and the different animals, and the kids take turns taking them home over breaks. But these are fish in
These
big
are
tanks.
fish
They
to
can't
feed.
go home.
These are fish to feed you. Yes. The kids keep
They're not
asking me,
pets.
what are we going to name it? I said, we're not going to name it anything because I don't want you to be sad when we eat little Johnny Soup.
Oh, no.
I don't, because we're going to eat them because that's what I want to teach the kids. I want to teach them from beginning to end, you can be self-sufficient. You can grow your own fruit. You can grow your own vegetables. You can also grow your own meat, which is fish. So we want it from the beginning.
Fish are food.
Fish are food.
Seems like there's a line that they're not food in Nemo, in Finding Nemo, but
Oh,
here
right.
fish are food.
Fish are food. Yes, not in Nemo, but in this world, yes.
So how big will they get?
They will get to about, what did he tell me, a foot?
Ooh.
And that's when you'll eat them?
And we've decided that we're going to use it for positive, not just let's just eat, but a fundraiser for a fish fry for us, maybe to take a trip. The kids I don't think any of my kids at that school have been on an airplane. So it would be amazing if we have something inside of our school where we could fund our children actually getting outside of the city limits of Mobile, Alabama.
Really?
That would be amazing. That's my end goal.
So they're learning the science of it, how to take care of these fish, how to grow them, how to have the whole ecosystem basically with the
Yes.
plants. Will they learn the business side too?
Yes, that's my second goal is I want to teach them how to use something that can help you and also make you money where you can sustain it and keep going. So I'm looking to involve BSC, we've already been talking about it, to tie into maybe mathematics, which is how much does it cost for this size tank and this here, and what would I need, how much water, how much food, what all do I need? And also I've been researching careers within aquaponics. So careers that not just the smartest person can do, but my children who function on an IQ of 55 or below can actually go apply for the job and get it because I'm using my hands. I don't have to use these things that you say I have to have. Right. So that's what we're going to integrate in. It's just, I'm learning it's a trial and error thing. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. I've had a couple plants die on me. Got one fish that got in the middle of it and took me about 40 minutes to fish him out of there and put him back in the big tank. The kids thought that was the best thing ever. Miss Holloway, get him, get him. I'm trying. Please stop yelling. You're scaring him and I'm trying to catch him. So it's been a fun experience. Sometimes it can be stressful, but it's been fun because me and my kids are learning together.
But that's life, and you learn more from the mistakes, I think. My son, I have a funny story. He's in middle school, and they were doing one of those pumpkin catapults. So they build it. They come up with the design and build it. And the principal was telling me it was the funniest thing because they built this whole contraption, and they figured it would, fly the pumpkin pretty far, and then they couldn't get it out of the classroom because it was too wide.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like it was a lesson. I mean, you're laughing, but as a teacher, wouldn't you be like, "Well, kids, you just figured it out. That now you have to make it. They had to take it apart, put it back together." Best way said that's a mistake they won't make again. But that's a real life engineering problem, right? You also have to figure out how to transport it.
When I saw the tank when it first came and it got there, I was like, "So we didn't think about to measure the doors." I said, so how are we going to get in there? Then luckily it was in a whole lot of wrapping, so it wasn't as big. We were able to turn it on the side and roll it in.
It was a very big tank.
It's huge. You got to come see it.
Right.
You got to come see
So not the kind you could do at home, but there are models at home where you can do a
Yes.
smaller version if
Yes.
somebody wanted to go online
it.
and figure out how to do
You
it.
can do it with a regular 10-gallon tank. It's just some PVC pipe to put your plants in. You put drill holes in the PVC pipe and put your plants in there, and it's a hose that makes the water flow from there down to the tank and back through it. It's real easy. Only thing we had an issue. Yes. Only issue we had is we had crawdaddies in our little mini one. Yeah, they like to crawl.
Oh.
And they got out.
Oh.
And I came back after the weekend. I found one in the hallway.
No.
He was all crunchy. And I found one down there by the fish tank. I was like, oh, little fella, you didn't make it far, huh?
Oh,
No,
dear.
they need water. It's a lesson. My husband has a fish tank, and he likes the little frogs, but then he said a couple of them will get out. And I'm like, no.
No,
I can't handle that.
I can't handle that.
Well, okay. So your special needs kids are really getting a lot out of this.
They love it. They hound me down daily. Miss Holloway, how are the fish? I don't know. Let's go check.
Yeah.
Miss Holloway, you gotta help me. I gotta go germinate the plants. I said, I gotta go spray them. They're not wet enough. Okay, let's go. We can go to the lab. They enjoy it. I have some of them. They didn't come to school a lot before I got it. They're there every day because they know they have a job in the lab.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really, to see it through their eyes is amazing because you can see the light bulb kind of just bling.
Well, and we were talking about this before we started taping. You see the science lab as just a whole community effort. And so I'm guessing that you've got other grades and classes that also come in, but you were
Yes.
also mentioning the communities involved too.
I just want everybody thinks it's just science. It's not just science because you have to have reading, you have to have math, you have to have all of that in order for science to be full circle. And I want it to be integrated in a way where my English teacher down the hallway, hey, Miss Holloway, I need to use the lab today. I'm doing this lesson on whatever she's doing it on that matches with ELA, and that they would need to observe something in the lab in order for them to figure out their assignment in ELA, because it's possible. It just takes work, and I'm just glad I have people in my corner that can help me with the work that I know it's going to take, which is exciting.
It really is.
And it's a neat time to be at Mobile County Training School. I want to get back to you're wearing your shirt, and if you're listening,
Yes.
describe your shirt.
So this shirt was actually hand drawn by me. I have my own business. It's called Party Official, and we do custom apparel for everything. But one thing I like about the story with the Clotilda is that we came from Africa. We have a spot where we know our roots are, which is in Benin, Africa. We know that. That's where we came from. So the journey to me was kind of inspirational. So that's how I drew the shirt. I was like, okay, let me find Africa, and I found a picture of Benin, and then I put what it looks like. This is literally what it looks like. Then the journey from us to Africa Town, which is I did the African flag colors in the United States flag, because we made Plateau a place where we felt we were comfortable and where we needed to be. That's why it's called Africa Town. We literally made it our Benin here. So that was the inspiration behind that. And then with Stemming the Tide, of course I got to, those are my people at BSC. I have to. And then on the back, I said I have to represent everybody who is a part of it. So that was my inspiration behind the shirt.
I love it. I love the design.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm dating myself, but you're reminding me when I was, I guess, either late middle school or early high school was when Roots came out. Remember the series
Yes.
and the book?
Yes.
And that made a huge impression on me. And just to me, one of the most important parts is the moment when he goes back to Africa and finds his
His people.
ancestors. And they make the connection through a very
Yes.
torturous period. And it's incredibly moving. And when I look at your shirt across the table here and see those connections, and it really is an emotional connection. It's
Yeah.
very exciting.
It's crazy to me that through everything, we're still here, and to I want to make sure my kids understand their roots. I want them to know where they came from, and it's not all what you see on TV of just the turmoil and the, all of the violence and all of that. Your ancestors are literally kings and queens, and so that makes you royalty, sweetheart. I literally call my kids that every day, and I had one teacher. She was like, "Why you call them that?" I said, "Because that's what they are."
Mm-hmm.
I will address them as they are, and they are kings and queens. Because I'm a king, I'm a queen. So yes, you're welcome in my queendom. So you got to
thanks
be
for having
royalty.
us.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
And so, do your students get to experience like the Spirit of Our Ancestors Festival?
Yes.
Do they go and do they enjoy that?
Yes,
or-
they like doing if Miss Holloway's doing it, they want to do it. And so I try my best to show up. Even my husband, sometimes he fusses at me. He's like, "You just spend all your time doing this and doing that." I was like, "I can't not do that." I said, because kids don't have what I had growing up. A mother, a father was at every game, all of that. I know these kids don't have that. So if I can give it every other weekend, why not? What else am I going to do?
That's neat. I got to go one year, and I want to go back. I couldn't go this year, but it is neat because they honor the descendants, the
Yes.
oldest descendant and the youngest descendant. You said you're a descendant. So what's that like to see that it's still being recognized and honored? And
Inspirational, because to be in that arena when they're doing that, like, you can't help but be emotional, because they kind of relive the journey, and they don't just, it's not a bad thing. They honor, they give thanks. They are very grateful. It's an experience that if you haven't had it, you need to try it, especially if you're in Mobile. It's down the street. They do it all the time. And then one thing they just brought back, which I was really excited, was the kite flying. They just had it this past Saturday. They always fly kites. They do it like once a year. It's a kite day. And they did it this past Saturday. And you should have seen those kids out there flying kites. It was great.
Oh, I bet that was beautiful. Well, and I wanted to make sure before we ran out of time, can you tell us a little bit about your own personal family legacy? You were telling me about how your mother-in-law used to have to walk to school and was a groundbreaker.
Yeah, she was the part of the first integrated class at Murphy High School. And most of the kids, African-American kids, were bused. They would pass all of the other schools. They would pass Viger, they would pass Murphy, they would pass every last one of those schools and be bused to Mobile County Training School because it's the first African-American high school. Well, when they gave the option of the choice, you know, my mother-in-law, like I said, she's 5 of 8. 2 of them chose to go to Murphy. And so you making that choice to go to Murphy, we're all going to Mobile County Training School because this is where mom works. Mm-hmm. But you want to go to Murphy, you're going to have to get there how you get there. And how she got there is she walked from Tomaville to Murphy High School.
Every day.
Every day.
Wow.
And that's how she did. She walked up, I believe that was Stanton. Then she went to Carlin. She made that right on Carlin Street. She made that left. She kept walking, and she got to school. And she had to leave pretty early, so because she had to get there on time. There was no not getting there on time. And it's just so amazing to me because she maintained almost all A's, her and her sister.
Rain or shine,
You going to school.
you walk to school.
If I'm going to work, which grandma and me always went to work. If I'm going to work, you're going to school. So I'm going to work, you're going to school. Get there. Put on your raincoat. Put on your what they call them. See, we call them rain boots now, but they call them something else back in the day. But yeah, put those on, and you and your sister go ahead now.
Yeah.
Get to school.
I got to meet some of the first integrated class at Murphy because they were supposed to have one of their reunions over COVID, so they were just able to have it. And I think that what's interesting when you think about it, and some of the students got to meet them, is it really wasn't long ago that we integrated. Like, you want to think of it as like so far in the past,
Right, but it wasn't.
and yeah, like the fact.
Because she's still living and kicking, honey. So it is a good thing. Everybody complains about COVID happening, but I feel like positive came out of there because a lot of people who were unaware of what was going on in the world when dealing with race, kind of eyes were open, like, this is really happening?
Right.
Because I even had some friends of mine that asked me, this really happens? I said, yes, you just don't know because you didn't get to see it because it wasn't a part of your world. But now that the world is on pause and it's in your face, you can't help but to see it. And it's been actually inspirational and positive for me because a lot of my friends now, we have those hard conversations. And we're able to get to a level of understanding where they see me and I see them. And that's all that I could ask for myself, even for my students and for my own son and for my husband, is just see them as who they are, which are humans. Just see them.
Yeah. And that everyone's experiences are different.
Everyone's.
And that, yeah, we need to appreciate that and recognize that as we forge on, and school's different. Like, I don't know that I would be able to walk 6 miles to and from school every day.
No.
You know, that's courage. And under times when you weren't sure how you would be received when you got there.
Yes.
Yeah. And they decided I'm going to do it anyways. And not only did they do it, but they excelled in it. Like I said, my mother-in-law and her sister were part of the National Honor Society at Murphy High School. So it's like, not only did I go, I went.
Well, yeah, and such an inspirational example of education in your own family, and that legacy has continued. So I just think that's so exciting to see.
And that's inspired me to go and get my national board certification by any means necessary, because I had a chance to give up because I'm honest. The first time that I did all components 1, 2, 3, and 4, me and 4 didn't get along. We just didn't. We just didn't vibe. We didn't vibe.
Me and chemistry didn't get along either in high
See, you
school.
understand.
I get it.
We just didn't vibe. And I got into this place where maybe I was like, maybe I won't, maybe I will. Because what am I teaching my son? What am I teaching my kids if, because I didn't make it the first time, that I say, forget it, I'm just not going to do it? No, because the reason I started to go get my national board certification was to give them a better teacher in me, which is to make myself better. So why not give them that? Are they not deserving of the best of the best? Just because they're a Mobile County Training School, that doesn't mean that they shouldn't have an A1 nationally certified teacher.
Absolutely.
They should.
Yes, yes. And if our listeners don't know what NBCT is, it's National Board Certified Teacher. It's a rigorous process. Self-examination, right? You have to video yourself
Video
teaching,
yourself.
critique yourself.
Critique yourself. What are you doing wrong? What are you doing right? How do they align with the standards of accomplished teaching? It's, even though you know that you're doing something good, it's having to explain, why is it good? What is it doing? How is it helping your kids? And how is it helping you?
That can be really difficult.
Now, the recording in the classroom, y'all would think that would be my nervous part. That's actually the one I did really good. Component 4 is really deep diving into yourself. And that was the one I struggled with. It's like, should I really say I'm bad at this or not? So
that is really tough. That's like the interview question where they say, tell us your strengths and weaknesses. And you know that it's a trap.
right, it's like, should I give you a weakness or not? Are you going to hire me if I give you this weakness? And you second guess yourself. But I think this time it's going to be a whole lot different because I'm doing component 4 on something that I love already, which is the aquaponics. What hiccups have I had? How have I fixed them? How have I taught my kids to fix them? Because when the plants start yellowing, I didn't go look up, hey kids, your assignment for today, figure out why our plants are yellowing. The first person to get it gets a free homework pass.
They got it, didn't they?
I knew within 30 minutes it was because either too much water or not enough water. We know it wasn't not enough water because it's full of water. So we all came to the conclusion, too much water.
Sure.
And we were right. Well, excuse me, take that back. They were right because I made
They
them
figured
do
it out. But that's why we stress the lifelong learning, isn't it? We're all learners.
We are.
The best teachers are forever learners. The best teachers, like, if they continue to want to better themselves, like you have to have that desire. You just can't say, oh, I'm going into this professional development because I have to. Now, there are some like that, but there needs to be more of, I'm going to this because it's going to give me something that'll make my classroom better, which will make my day better. Because when your classroom runs smoothly, honey, yes.
I don't know anything that runs smoothly.
Well, let me say not run smoothly, but if you have a plan, then you have a plan in case that plan doesn't go well. It's a whole lot more fun when the plan doesn't go well because you got a backup plan.
I love a backup plan. Yeah. I love a backup plan. Well, we have loved having you on our podcast. You've been such a great guest and such a great gift to the kids at Mobile County Training School, your home.
Yes, thank you.
And you
so
know
much.
she's going to pass this time. So
Yes.
good luck.
Thank you.
That's all the time we have. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Learning Leading Now.